Far Cry 6 has an actual ton of weapons you can get, including 49 unique weapons, so I'm going to show you real quick what all of the best Far Cry 6 weapons are and their locations. If you think another weapon should have made it in here, make sure you leave it down in the comments. If you're the type of player that likes to just full on run around shooting everything, you're probably going to love the impact driver because it shoots armor piercing rounds and does increased damage to the body at almost 1200 rounds per minute. So you're not going to be aiming for the head a whole lot anyway, but if you do, you've got this neat little sight on top. By the way, you can get these regular versions of the unique weapons such as the MG42 from the caches you find in the red military areas, or you can buy them from the guerrilla hideout at your base, and potentially make them better and suited more to your playstyle than the unique versions are, but only if you've got enough materials because those can be pretty hard to come by. Especially industrial circuits, which I have another video on, so if you're having trouble finding those, make sure you check that out. But anyways, what's cool about the unique versions is that you can get them right off the bat as soon as you leave that first island and complete the introduction to the game, such as the impact driver, and it absolutely shreds. You can get it here in the far east border of Valle de Oro, and once you get there, you'll see a compound with a smaller section to the right of it with some green walls bordering it, and all you have to do is head inside of it and hop on top of the small building that's inside, or whatever you can mantle up in order to hop into that smaller closed off section containing the impact driver. Next up, we have what I believe to be the best shotgun in the game, the Supercharger, which is a unique Spaz 12 loaded with a suppressor and buckshot, along with the faster reload and suppressor cooling. I don't think the shotguns are that great in Far Cry 6, with the only exception being this one, partially because of the suppressor it comes with. The RMS-18 is also good and a 4-star gun, but I honestly don't like it as much as the Spaz 12. The Supercharger can be found on the oil rig at the far northwest portion of the map, and you'll have to head over to a small room where you hit a switch to move a crate out of your way in order to get to that weapon. And that small room where you hit the switch is located on the southwest quarter of the oil rig if you're looking at it on the map. Once you hit the switch, you can head to the southeast part of that rig, which is where we were looking directly through the window near the switch. And inside a crate here will be the unique Spaz 12 called the Supercharger. It's a pretty good gun as long as you're really close to the enemy. If you head over to a steel plant location in northwest Madrugada, just below where we went for the Supercharger, you can see a couple of little water towers, and if you pass those and cross over the train tracks here, you can turn around to the side of the building to find a small shed containing a flaming grenade launcher called El Caballero. And if you're going to be running and gunning, I think this grenade launcher is a must-have because it's pretty insane. You can just spam grenade everywhere and demolish everyone around you without a second thought. Next is a resolver weapon called La Verita, which I wasn't going to show a whole lot of resolver weapons because most of them you get from just leveling up, and the best ones pretty much just depends on your playstyle, but La Verita is pretty insane and is actually hidden in Alua Cave and San Juanito Island, and obtaining this weapon will also give you Aluso, the Jaguar Amigo. To complete this and get the weapon, you have to head to the cave and it'll give you 3 treasure hunts to complete. They all have Triada in the names of the treasure hunts, by the way. The first one is in Lozania, located in Madrugada, where you just have to follow a bunch of ropes. Just keep grabbing them and follow the trail, even though it gets pretty annoying, and you'll eventually come to the relic that you need to pick up. The second one is here in Cruz del Salvador, and for this one you have to enter a fortress. Upon entering one of the rooms, all of the mirrors around you will break, except for one. Breaking the glass to that one, you'll find a switch that opens up a room. There are 3 rows of TVs with 3 buttons on the table. Hit the middle button, followed by the left one, and then the right one. This will open up a piano on the 2nd floor where you can read a note, and if you head back downstairs, you can go through that locked door and head through the hallways until you reach a button, which you can then head down and grab onto the grappling hook above you to swing over onto the ledge where the second triada will be. For the last one, you'll just be right down the road in La Jolla, where you can complete the last treasure hunt. You have to head down into this little mining trench area and unplug the power from the generator, which is hidden behind a pallet that you have to break. Then you can enter the cave and grab the keycard from the body in the first room on the left after entering that cave. Then you can just keep progressing by walking over into the water and swimming through, and eventually on your left will be a button that turns off some poisonous gas. And after waiting a couple seconds, you can rappel down to the last triada. Now you can head back to that first island that we were at, where you started this entire game and where we started this treasure hunt. This is where you'll fight Aluso and earn La Verita and the Triad Supremo backpack, which together makes possibly the most overpowered weapon in the game, allowing you to mark enemies all around you and shoot them through walls with extreme power. It is actually insane. The next one is a gun that I think is one of the strongest in the game, which is Urushi. a unique ARC, and it's actually extremely easy to find if you have a helicopter and can fly over to Esperanza, because it's located just southeast of the city on the docks where a couple of enemies are located, and just behind the building towards the end of the docks, you'll see the crocodile case containing Urushi. And it comes with some mods that allow you to heal upon dealing damage, and the mod that deals increased damage with the first round in the magazine. So if you're like me and reload your gun all the time, you're going to be even stronger because each first round is going to do more damage. And Urushi is a pretty awesome gun for stealth since it comes with a suppressor. It one-taps most enemies in the head with that first round, and even without it, it holds up pretty well. It's a really good gun. We're about halfway through the list, and we've got El Tirano, a 50 caliber sniper rifle you can get all the way at the tippy top east side of the map in Villa de Oro in Esquila Fort that you can get to by grappling to the top of the lighthouse. It's a very strong 50 cal sniper, and I'm sure a lot of people are going to be wondering where this one is, but it doesn't seem to be quite as strong as it was in past games. Still though, it's a solid sniper rifle and definitely the hardest hitting, also having that mod that allows the first round in the magazine to do extra damage, which is going to make a big difference with this sniper. Since we're on the subject of sniper rifles though, one that I really like is the SVD. Although I think I'm a little biased about it because of the skin that you can get with the unique version of it called the TransSubstantiator, or however the heck you say that name. But once you have unique guns, you can put the unique skin on regular versions of those guns. I think it's the only animated skin that I've found in the game so far, and this unique version still one-taps enemies in the head with a higher rate of fire than obviously that 50 cal sniper had. I don't care for many of the attachments that the unique version comes with, so I just grabbed it, and then you can find the SVD randomly throughout military caches or from upgrading that guerrilla shop at your hideout where you can buy it, but it's pretty costly buying it that way. The unique version is easy to find though over here in Valle de Oro, and just outside of a little military hideout you can find a sewer where the gun is hidden. It's towards the jungle and you'll see a little red ladder sticking out of the ground. Once you're in there, just find that crocodile case and you can pick it up. Now the Desert Eagle is strong in pretty much any game that has it, and the same is true for Far Cry 6. It doesn't one shot in the body like Far Cry 5 did with every shot because of how enemies are built in Far Cry 6, but it's still pretty insane, and even more so since you can toss a suppressor on it. The Deagle is the only non-unique weapon I've seen that you can find at a specific location, which is over here in Esperanza, but you have to complete the last one to leave treasure hunt, which you can start by reading the note in this little gated area, then look up to see 3 wires leading to different locations. First we're going to go parkour up to the blue water drum tower and hit the switch. Then we're going to head over to a blue house next to us, which you'll see is being poisoned by gas, but you can fix that by just shooting the gigantic yellow gas tank outside of it. Then go ahead and enter that building through a small opening inside and you can get to the switch. Lastly, we're going to enter another blue house, and this time we have to click the radio, the TV, and then the picture frame in that order to open up the bookshelf. And that's where you'll find the last switch hidden. Again, it's radio, then TV, and then picture frame. Now you can run back to that gated area and enter the locked room on the side of the building to get the Desert Eagle. For our last weapon is the SKS. I don't care for the unique version at all, but the regular old SKS you can randomly find or purchase at a fully upgraded Guerrilla for 3,000 pesos. The SKS is just awesome. It's a rifle that can also be used as a sniper, and if you're not into headshots, you can equip the mod that does more body shot damage to allow you to one-tap most enemies with just plain old body shots. It's pretty insane. Obviously you're going to need armor piercing rounds too, which I think are necessary for any sharpshooting type setup because it increases the velocity of the rounds, which is almost more important than damage in Far Cry 6. I also used that first round in the mag does more damage mod and the ACOG sight. The only downside to the SKS I would say is the reload time if you're halfway through the clip. If you waste all of your ammo, the full clip reload isn't bad at all, or if you just shoot one round and then reload, it's not bad. But if you've got to reload 7 individual rounds, it gets a little annoying. But anyways, those are my top 10 best weapons in Far Cry 6. I tried to make it as quick as possible. Make sure you leave your favorite weapons down in the comments, and be sure to subscribe and leave a like for more Far Cry 6 videos. See ya.